Max, come on. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. Come on, Max. Come on. Max. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Sound low. Low there too. And chair open. Forward to the main camera. Good morning. Welcome to the newly resumed Sunday edition of the Poetry Studio. I haven't done the Poetry Studio on Sundays in a while. When I started it, I realized that the most overwhelming thing was trying to do it all 7 days a week. Firm believer in taking a day of rest. Not a bad thing, but I've decided to take it another shot and to really try to make this click in terms of the just making it into something that happens daily, consistently. And I figured that Sunday is going to be a bit of a slower ride. I'll tell you something, I feel slower for me. I did actually roll out of bed and roll into the stream on this one, but I think it's still good to get that creativity going. This morning we have snow outside here in Virginia. Welcome to anybody that might be tuning in live or tuning in on the replay. So yesterday, creatively, I was working on the keycaps poem, and it seems to have been going well, about halfway through. We'll be able to resume that today potentially, or do something else. But one of the more interesting developments, kind of with everything, is I've started to renew a deeper commitment in general to being an entrepreneur. It's funny because, poetry can lead you to discover very interesting things, things that you didn't know about yourself, stuff like that. And having been able to do something with myself with just writing on the street when it isn't covered in a blanket of snow, maybe I should go downtown today just to have some fun with the snow. But to be able to create and bake something for yourself through that is showed me a little more what I want to do in general with my life. Not to say that I didn't want to do the poetry thing 24/7, but as I come to realize more and more that it'll be a compendium, a strong compendium. I would not even call it a hobby. I would not even call it a side hustle. It will be a strong compendium to who I am and what I do. I endeavor to build something else into the world, and then maybe build something else into the world, and build things into the world. We have gotten a resounding vote to continue on the Typewriter horror poem. I'll do it. This is good. Alrighty, let's resume that Typewriter horror poem. Who do we have here this morning? I'm gonna lurk the chat. Oh, it's Just Add Vodka. I see you lurking there in the chat. Welcome. Violet's TV, even though I don't know if that's actually a real person. And if you are a real person, feel free to stand up in the chat. Ed Vodka, I hope you're doing well. How is the other side of the world today? We got snow here in northeastern, in northern Virginia, and I'm sure that you have balmy heat down by you in Australia. All my paper's gone. All my paper's gone. I need to go get more paper. Just be literally a quick second as I go, and I'm not even stop talking. Oh yeah, so that's something that I have kind of reviewed myself for, and I'm going to be spending one.
Yeah, it's a mobile stabilizer.
And it's so hard. And then I do the post, and now I want to be an entrepreneur. It's like, you gotta be crazy. But I'm going to spend only one day a week retreating from everything, including the poetry business, and just focusing on the next thing, the next idea, getting innovative with small ideas, big ideas. And I think it's that combination that's important. Like, for example, this upcoming Tuesday, I have a small project that's going to create a little bit of passive income. I think that's good. It feels weird being a poet and also trying to do that at the same time, but I just think that it's important to support my family, but also it's important to know that that's what I want to do. And I mean, you're taking a more dangerous path. You gotta take the more dangerous path. That's the key. All right. Why is this not rolling? There we go. That's why. Like a shark. So I managed to fix the margin return issue. I thought I managed to fix the margin return issue. There we go. Margin return's a little sticky on this. Let's see here. Cool. So, I will read the poem up to the point where we have it now. So that to kind of reprise it, and that way we can continue on to the poem where we are. All right. Bring down the music. The poem is entitled Keycaps. It is a typewriter horror poem. If you happen to be watching this on replay with your children, I would say viewer discretion is strongly advised. All I wanted was to write, share the mystic idea and storyline, and combine my imagine with ink. But the keys, oh damn tease, did not reveal with any ease a plot that could please. I curse the machine, curse its lack of inspiration, curse its foul futility at my hands, curse the million crumpled papers strewn on the office floor, curse my writer's block, bricks into walls blocking in my mind, curse it to all writer hells for the fault I failed to see as mine. To my surprise, 42 glass-capped letters disappear before my eyes, leaving knives to appear in their place. My finger mid-type, helpless, haplessly hooked by the silver gleam, now bleed true languidity onto the page. Red ink of artery escaping and reaping its revenge. These escaped keys now swirl and multiply around me in the air, forming a message of sentience I can't bear to repeat. My writing machine, a living demon, so desires one thing: to escape my endless, frustrating drafts and possess a new machine and find a creative dream that is not my incomplete nightmare most unfair. And that's where we were at. Goodness gracious, I just sneezed right on camera. I didn't expect that one. I would have rewound it. We cannot be perfect. I think I could fit. I'm gonna just put a new piece of paper in. I might have been able to fit another stanza, but I'm not gonna risk it. Good morning, phone. For some reason, the computer is deciding to run slowish today. I always keep an eye out to see how the internet connection is going on the other end, and it doesn't seem like it's running smoothly. It's dropping frames actually left and right. Why is it doing that? Good morning, Fool Killer. So good to see you. I apologize for the video quality. I've just noticed it. Let's see if I close this out. Maybe that'll help. Is it Windows Explorer? Of all things. Good morning, Fool Killer. Seems to have done the trick. We're working on the horror poem again, and I think we're going to get it finished this time. And you're going to be here to see it. So what we have so far is we had a stanza before, and I hope that your reading has gone well this morning. So we had up to the point where the machine used its keycaps to spell the spell sentence and declare that it wanted to be free. And then while the writer is contemplating his imminent doom, the typewriter begins to disassemble, and then the stanza that you could see up there now was just a disassembled typewriter making its attack. And then the next stanza, something even deeper happens. Thank goodness for half space. I need to do some corrections here. There we go. Things really coming together. If you're just tuning in, we are about to finish a horror poem. It's going really well, actually, and I just made a new turn. That's a new sound. Right when I get to the end of my story of write about a typewriter being a horror machine, the typewriter starts screaming at me. Why are you screaming at me? You're supposed to be a lot more quiet. In fact, the keys have been getting a little more hard to deal with recently. This is weird. Bliss Factory says, have a good day today. I am going to bed. I love you. We love you too, Bliss Factory. Good to see you. We are just about finished with a horror poem, though, if you want to stay up just a little longer, but it might give you some nightmares. Let us bring in a new Meaning Wave instrumental. I gotta find it now. Absolutely, though. Thank you so much for the request. Spotify has decided to take its time in terms of finding it. Stop thinking 5. That's what I thought. There we go. There we go. Hey, don't worry about it, Bliss Factory. Absolutely don't worry about it. Hey, I really appreciate you thinking about sending me something, but you have absolutely no obligation to. It's just glad to have you here on the channel today. I am on my last words here. I see. That'll just work. Cool. Finished. Thank you so much, Bliss Factory. You as well. Indeed, be a Bliss Factory. I've done username poems before, and kind of have waiting for you to pop into the chat to so we could do a poem about your. Why though? I must ask myself this. Why though is it that my computer is not responding very well in terms of video today? It's really not doing well. What is going on here? We're gonna do some look under the hood here. Well, OBS is taking up a lion's share of it. Something is not right here. It was working before. That's what I don't understand. The past few days I've had all the same settings and it's worked perfectly okay. Well, I hope your computer gets better. I hope that everything with your research gets better. What have you been researching? What's your research been about? No, it's not because of you. Stop that. That wouldn't be you. This was happening before you ever walked in. This is... You know, I'm looking at it and I can't figure out what it is. Because it doesn't seem to make sense that we continue to have frames dropping. Why are we having... Skip frames detected. Nothing is heavy on the CPU. Enable performance mode in the editor context menu. Oh, well, one thing that definitely helps is when I take this off. This is probably it. There we go. That's a little better, probably. Let's see if that helps. Because I'm not rendering back the video to myself. We'll see. I'm going to leave it on this. Let's read that poem. Keycaps. All I wanted was to write. Share the mystic idea and storyline and combine my imagine with ink. But the keys, oh damn tease, did not reveal with any ease a plot that could please. I cursed the machine, cursed its lack of inspiration, its foul futility at my hands, cursed the million crumpled papers strewn on the office floor, cursed my writer's blocks, bricks into walls blocking in my mind. Curse it all to writer hells for the fault I fail to see as mine. To my surprise, 42 glass cap letters disappear before my eyes, leaving knives to appear in their place. My fingers, mid-type, helpless, haplessly hooked by the silver gleam, now bleed true languidity onto the page. Red ink of artery escaping and reaping its revenge. Those escaped keys now swirl and multiply around me in the air, forming a message of sentience I can't bear to repeat. My writing machine, a living demon, so desires one thing, to escape my endless frustrating drafts, and become a new machine and find a creative dream that is not my incomplete nightmare most unfair. I stare at my mangled fingers, trying to find the words and negotiate with the mechanical reprobate, and miss the typewriter disassemble itself. Pull each screw, lever apart in tempest, prepares to attack. A storm of metal, furious at my torturous tinkering, now tinkers with new torture in return. and the enlarged, detached pieces attack, type bars, teeth biting into my side, gears spin and slice inside, springs link together to form a chain, twisted metal nettles bound arms as I'm bludgeoned by a platen hard and seemingly endless ribbon spinning, wrapping my head, body, vision to mummify, bind, and blind, unstoried sight. I attempt to cry out, but find my mouth is full of the guts of my companion. Ivory is broken by spinning, shattering of glass, plastic, metal, and rubber, and feel the soft, torn skin. Fingers begin to soft, skin begin to harden. Feel my own blood begin to thicken. My own panicked breath spring with metallic coil. My fingers crystallize and ionize into keycaps of their own. Letters settling into place as I become a molded soul, now turned into the very machine of my demise. I am a typewriter, and my typewriter a man, standing before me, brushing his shoulders and smiling at his newfound, hell-bound, compounding escapement into living. This man looks longingly at my letters, and all I can feel is a desire for a story, to write, to speak my own incredible imagination into existence, triggered by boundlessness, by the cold prison I found myself in. But alas, he sits, and I cry ink onto his page, his story, a slave bay to do his bidding, pounding pain with each press of the key, an endless sentence to death with the rhythm of the click, click, ding of the tolling of my bell. Ooh. That was pretty horrifying, and I think I've managed to fix the issue here in terms of the video. And we have Patrick Smith with hearts and prayer emoji in the chat. Good to see you. I just finished a horror poem on the typewriter. And I'm catching up on the chats now. No, the whole thing about being a human person plus factory is that we go through these ups and downs. I am glad that you enjoy the poem. I see hearts in the chat. And that it's why do we never feel happy? I think that's we always are kind of searching. I think that we'll be searching until a couple of hours after we're 6 feet under, Liz Factory says, it's me and my car. The car is riding away and you are the car. Oh, thank you. Posture check. Oh, thank you. Well, I've gotten that feeling with a couple of my machines. I'll tell you that. I have a couple machines that have just been sitting in pieces. So I understand that. Exactly. Life is suffering, says Patrick Smith. That's why that song, oh goodness, that song just tears me up each time when I listen to it. Because it is so true that, what I think about more than anything else is that we have, we were born, we were not meant to know all the things that we know. Like the Joseph Campbell album, of all the albums, his Songs of Mythology is so powerful because, and we'll bring back some audio in the background. I don't know what even is playing. His album is so powerful because it talks about how the first thing that we see is the suffering around us. So, it's a thing. But it's okay to feel that way. But the fact is we've got a good community here online, and we feel good with the people despite the suffering, and we get overwhelmed. I've gotten overwhelmed. How many times have I gotten overwhelmed with Factory? I get overwhelmed once a week at least. And so I've been overwhelmed a lot of times, and what I do is I chip away at the ways that I could possibly make it better. And it sounds like that you've got a lot going on with that. Hey, after the stream, you and I should chat a little bit and, see if we could talk a little bit about what the next steps would be to be able to help get you moving and grooving and out of the house. Because that's going to be the biggest thing, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time, honestly. Yeah, it can get very overwhelming. And that's the thing is this the great thing about having us here at the studio is being able to let that out and cope with that. And I mean, I can write a poem if you want to talk about it a little bit, but yeah, I hope that this space Goggins says Patrick Smith. I like that. Young, even better. Exactly. It's. I'm trying to find the right words in the moment. That this. Yeah. Exactly. Patrick Smith says it's best. I think you're most excellent member of Maz. These figures are always meant to be these ideals that we reach to, like the ones that that we listen to in the Meaning Wave universe. Those are the people that we kind of want to be like, and we try to endeavor to be like. Naval is stressing me out too. Hey, I mean, I'm trying. Naval energy is something. But that's the thing is even Gary Vee's perspective is one of the biggest things that I always go back to is you could go 70 years and then you could have your break, and that's okay because that's life and you enjoy the journey somehow. But yeah, we'll definitely, we should chat a little bit after the stream. Because it's hard to get that startup money to be able to do what you want to do and things like that. I mean, I get it, but if you're pushing at the edges to just kind of work on it, just little bits, chipping away, and you're kind of continuing to try to work that ingenuity to do that, it'll break itself out at a certain point. It has to, at least. So. I'm going to write a little poem kind of talking about the Naval energy. For those that are confused by what I mean by Naval energy, Naval Ravikant is an entrepreneur, a very financially successful individual who has been enshrined in the Meaning Wave universe. And he's probably the one that I've struggled with a lot because I want to be able to help create lasting finances for my family, and so that's one of the things that I definitely feel with what Bliss Factory has been saying a little bit in the chat. Hey, being a mess is completely okay. We are all messes. What does Gary Vee say? He says everybody sucks. Everybody sucks. You don't know what it's like behind the camera here, and I'm not going to say because I don't really feel comfortable saying, but man, my life can be a real spell sometimes. God bless my wife for putting up with me. But we're here for you, and it's so good that we have. Thank you so much for being here, Patrick Smith in the chat, and thank you so much for being here, Bliss Factory too. That's a great thing about doing this. And if I feel like if you feel like I'm being inadequate in any of my responses, I apologize. I speak better in the poems than I do in the actual speaking part of it, really. We've got snow over here too, Bliss Factory. Yeah, we'll chat over the after the show, definitely. trying to find the end of this poem. Yeah, the lockdown's been hard on all of us. I think we lost the main camera, but at least I'm back, and the music should be playing, but I don't think it is. But I think I am back. Goodness gracious. According to this, it must have saved. Okay. Yeah, so why don't we talk hold on a second. I'm still trying to get this stream to get fixed because I've got the video up here, but not. I mean, I definitely encourage you, Bliss Factory, to continue to work on everything that you can do to try to help improve your situation, of course. And part of the poem that I wrote, that I think we can only hear it over the audio right now because my video camera is not working. I might be able to get, let's see if I can get my laptop camera to work. Let's see, maybe it's going to work now. Hold on a second. Trying to fix this. And I think that we are fixed. There we go. Okay. We are fixed. And I think that what's partially important is that there's also just kind of trying to say the positive things, even though it can be really hard. And I know for myself that I've had, when I can't say the positive things, then it's one of those things that I go and I speak to somebody about it. That's always important. So, I mean, the best thing that you could possibly do right now, I think, among other things, is, you've been saying a lot of things in the chat that you feel like that you can't do, and it's obviously going an uphill battle no matter what. And as Jordan Peterson says, you sometimes just get cut off at the knees. But if you find that you're unable to even say to yourself, hey, it's going to get better, then that's when it's important to talk to somebody that'll help, professional too, definitely. For myself, that's what I've done the measure of. I have moments when I have a lot of trouble saying that it's going to get better. That's when I talk to a professional. It's that simple. And I was, I still even talk to a professional, even though sometimes I've been able to say more often it's going to get better. And so I know that it's, that what we do is we get focused on the material things around us, and we look, hey, everything is stinks, but, and it's good that we have this place to be able to kind of talk about it here, but, and yeah, no, I have that feeling too. Bliss Factory says, feels like the pros are wrong. I'm sorry, it destroyed me further. But, what we do is it's not that they help fix us. It's that they are kind of the foil with which we bounce what we're dealing with off our lives. Only, we can. Oh, I would, yeah, but I think that these are larger conversations that I don't feel comfortable being able to kind of like go, say that I'm an expert on. I just, we have this place to be able to try to help bring people peace. So I'm going to do the only thing I know how to do, which is read a poem. And after we end the stream, Bliss Factory, we can talk a little bit more individually over Whisper. Whisper over to me. Thanks everybody for being here today. Thanks everybody that was present early on as well as now. Bliss Factory and Patrick Smith. It's good to see you. I'm so sorry for the terrible technical issues. Things got kind of crazy when my laptop suddenly died, and we also had some technical issues before that. But the title of this poem is called Swinging Human, and a lot of it comes from my own life, because it's hard to be a person. It's hard. Sometimes we wake up to find the tires were stolen, the car is up on blocks, and we are stuck as the storm rages on. Hands raised to heaven, wishing for all the world to still, to give a pass, a break for just this once, to escape, to take the silver line as it rises higher and higher, so high it reaches the firmament that only exists in imagination, peace and joy forever. Our chimp eyes were opened for greatness, to take command of the spaceship whenever we can and soar. And our small heads are so easily crushed by the notions of those going before us to the verdant valley. But we are skin and bones as they, and cannot fathom their own pain. I hear doctors and soldiers speak, and in between the lines is our pain, our suffering, striving, wrestling with existence, and waiting for that day that will come when we unleash the golden side. So, kind of going back to the